Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and today I wanted to talk about a little game, Darwin Project. Now most of you have probably not heard nor seen it, but it is quite a good game. Now originally I saw a little bit of it kind of teased and hinted at Microsoft's like E3 thing a little while back, and they said, oh, it's coming for, PC as well, because pretty much a lot of the things during the Microsoft E3, and the reason I was watching it was just because I knew most of that was coming out on PC as well, rather than, the Sony one. It's all only on PlayStation, but the Microsoft E3, a lot of it comes out to PC. So I was watching it with some friends, and the Darwin Project kind of caught our eyes, and I was kind of like, okay, I'll take a look at that in the future, to see how it kind of goes. And then just this weekend, I just saw it pop in my Steam feed. I didn't really hear anyone talking about it. I didn't, see it on Reddit or YouTube or anything. I just saw, okay, there's an open beta weekend for the Darwin Project, so, I'll go ahead and try it out. And I have to say, it is one of the most unique Battle Royale games I have just ever played. And this is one, in previous videos, this was what I was talking about, about like PUBG and stuff. My main thing about PUBG is it's a good game, but my favorite thing about it is that it's the kind of birth of a new genre. I couldn't wait to see, how unique and all of the new and cool Battle Royale games that come out after that, because there's so much you can do in that, design space. And this is what I'm talking about. This is just so unique. And so it's a 10-player Battle Royale, so it's not, a ton of players like PUBG or anything. It's just a 10-player Battle Royale game, and it just has such a unique identity. The combat is really bouncy and kind of based on knockback, because you pretty much have two main attacks. You just have your normal, like, shovel thing, or hammer, or whatever, axe, that you hit people with, and then you can also, you have a bow and arrow, so on PC anyways, just left mouse click just hits people with the axe, and if you hold right mouse button, you kind of pull out your bow and you can shoot with the left arrow, or not left arrow, the left mouse button, and obviously you have to have arrows for it. But everything pretty much bounces you back. It gives you a lot of knockback, and the gameplay and combat is just so unique. I haven't really played a game kind of like this, because a lot of the times, you see someone, you shoot them with the arrow, they kind of bounce back a little bit, you try to shoot an arrow at where they're going to land, just to try to keep on like chaining it, and then you hit someone and they go flying back, so you shoot them in midair, and it's just really fun, and it's really bouncy. I think they might need to rework a little bit of the knockback and stuff, because sometimes it does feel like you're just getting comboed and you can't really you can't get out of, getting killed. But the combat is really unique, and I think if they adjust it a little bit, it'll actually be really great. And I think that's one of the main unique parts about this game. Also, there's a simplified crafting system that only has two materials, wood and leather, and then, electronics, but I'll talk about that in a second. But pretty much, normally I hate crafting, especially in, like, Battle Royale games, but this crafting is really great, because you have a certain amount of things that you can build, most of which, like, or you have your kind of coat, you have boots, you have like an axe sharpener, and every time you craft another one, you upgrade it, and each one can be upgraded 5 times. Then there's some traps you can craft that are obviously single-use things, but I normally hate crafting, but I really like it in this, because there's only 2 materials, there's only wood and leather, and there's no looting in the game, so you don't go around into buildings and try to find a better gun and stuff like that. So pretty much what you're doing is you're just going around and you cut down trees and you pull leather off of these couches and then you kill people. And because of the fact that there's no looting in the game, having this just very simplified crafting material, I think is amazing. It's really awesome, and it's really unique, honestly, especially because you can find electronics will randomly spawn in some of the quadrants, and they take a little bit to gather, but if you gather them, you can use one electronic to unlock one of your powers, and everyone starts with 3 powers that you can change, and you unlock one of your powers, and also the director can, kind of spawn some and stuff, but I'll talk about that a little bit. But it's just really cool, because you have the 2 main crafting materials, and you'll every now and then find an electronic that you can use to, unlock your turret or your teleport or something like that, and it's really cool. Another super unique thing about this game is the crafting wheel. So pretty much everything that you can craft, you can choose a different choice. Before the game starts, So say your 3 powers. There's like 9 powers to choose from, and you can choose 3 that you want to be able to unlock during the game by getting electronics. Also, say a coat. You could have a hunter's coat, a runner's coat, you know, 2 or 3 other different coats that all, you know, do different things. So the hunter's coat, you know, it might give you a tiny bit, you know, it prevents you from getting cold, but then it also helps you track people, as an example, whereas the runner's coat might protect you from getting cold a little bit, but then it'll also give you extra stamina and stuff like that. And you can upgrade all of these 5 times, and so it's really, really cool because you can kind of do little builds you want. So as boots, there's like ninja boots that make your footsteps appear you know, for shorter times and stuff like that. And so you can kind of try to pair them to be where you can, you know, you're wanting to hide and just gather materials, or you can do a build where you're trying to find every single person and you have increased time of spotting people and stuff like that. Or you could just go for, oh, I want to have as much stamina as possible. You know, there's a lot of different things you can do. And then along with the traps, there's a bunch of different traps you can use. One thing is, especially until late game, I don't feel like the traps are being used as much as they should be. But obviously, I've only played like 8 hours of the beta, and a lot of things are going to change. But I haven't even discussed the main part of what makes this game great, and that is the director. So what is the director? The director is just an 11th player that controls a lot of what happens. So they can close off extra zones, they can heal specific players, they can spawn extra electronics like I was saying, they can nuke entire zones, they can even turn on low gravity, like a low gravity mode that lasts for 2 minutes. They can like start a hunt on one player, and you know, if that player dies in the next 2 minutes, then whoever kills them gets a chest and stuff like that. And the director also, he kind of looks like a Forge robot from Halo. He can go fly around the map and he can talk to people. So getting great directors is really great because it's like a really good game show host. But you can sometimes, you know, get pretty not okay directors that only just help a single player that's probably their friend just try to win the game and they don't really do much. But I want to tell the story of so far in the beta that I've played, only like 8 hours, I've had a couple really awesome director experiences, and one of them was I was just gathering like wood. I was just cutting down trees and I got shot, and so I kind of I feel like I'm pretty decent at the combat in this game. Especially in day 1, I was not losing at all to the combat. I would lose like to getting nuked or stuff like that. But you know, as it's progressed, people have gotten better at the combat, and you know, I'm not as amazing, but I was really good at combat. So I got hit once. I kind of hid behind a tree. I shot this guy twice, and then I thought he ran off. And the director comes in and he's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, you know, I was attacked and I used self-defense and I think I made him run away." And the director was like, "Well, he's like right next to you. I don't think he ran away." And then the guy like jumps out at me and starts attacking me, and I fight him off and I kill him. And then this director's like, "Oh, dude, good job, man. I'm proud of you." And he's like, "I'm gonna go check on some of the other people." So he does, you know, whatever. And later on in the game, he comes back to me, and he's like, "Hey, man, this one guy is an asshole. I need you to kill him." And he starts buffing me. He turns on, like, low gravity, and he's like, "Go kill this guy. He's at the top of this mountain." And because it's low gravity, I keep trying to get up there, and he keeps, like, shooting me. And whenever I get shot with an arrow, like, I fly all the way back down in the mountain. But it was really awesome because the director just kept, like, motivating me, and he kept buffing me with speed boosts, or he was healing me and stuff like that, and he was like, "That guy didn't respond to me. He's an asshole. I want you to kill him." And it was just really fun. It just made for such a unique moment. And you know, kind of like if you're playing Battlefield, that you have what people call battlefield moments, you know. Like one time I was like running up a skyscraper and this helicopter kept shooting me through the windows and it kept raising, and when I got to the final, you know, ceiling of the building, I scoped out of the building, I sniped the kind of pilot of the helicopter. It like flew, it crashed right next to me, and then I got out. But you know, like that's just a really cool moment that normally you don't get in most video games. But the Darwin Project, it really has those moments, especially if you have really, really great directors. Obviously, you can have bad directors because anyone can queue for being a director. But you know, overall, I think that's what makes the game unique, because there are times where you'll have a director and then they're AFK, or they're you know, they leave, and the game's the game's still okay because zones close on their own slowly, and electronics electronics spawn randomly, but you don't have any of the fun stuff like low gravity or nukes going off or extra electronics being spawned. Because when I was the director at one point, there's two main things I did in one of my games. First of all, I spawned an electronic in the middle, and then I immediately started closing the zone. And it takes 40 seconds for the zone to close. So I wanted to see if I could tempt someone to try to come get it. And, sure enough, this guy started sprinting and he almost escaped. But he didn't. Another thing I did was a zone started closing, so I closed another zone that a lot of people were in, and the middle zone was already closed because earlier the match. So I closed a zone, and so they were having to run kind of through the right map. I then start nuking the zone that they were going to have to run in because the first zone was closing and the only zone they could go into was starting to get nuked. So one of the guys, he went in a teleporter and he teleported away because there's teleporters in the game. The other guy did not know about that and he got nuked and it was hilarious. But it's really fun to just have those moments. That's what I think makes the Darwin Project. And a lot of people, especially the devs, they kind of seem like they have a really big focus on esports. But I personally do not think that I think this game's just a really fun casual game to play, especially because I don't know how you're going to do esports with a director, because then they might be favoring other people, or if you're just trying to play without the director, I'm not sure. But right now, this game is just so unique. It's so fresh to play a game like this, and, it's really, really fun. And I believe it has a ton of potential. I mean, it is just only in an open beta weekend, and so it's still being developed a lot more, but I would really love to see how this game expands, because obviously there's a lot they can do to improve this and make this game really, really fun, but I feel like there's also a lot of things they can do to ruin this game, especially if they try to focus really hard on esports and kind of have the director maybe be in a side project in just a side mode, and they kind of try to build the other parts of the game, because I think the director is honestly where this game shines, and I really hope they take this game in the right direction, because it is something I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye out, and hopefully it turns out really fun and me and my friends all get it, and just have some fun with huge games with all my friends and one of us being the director and stuff like that, because it seems like that type of game, honestly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to tell you guys about Darwin Project, because I know a lot of people haven't even heard about it, because there's been like little to no advertisements after E3, and the open beta I didn't even know about until I just luckily saw it in my Steam page. But yeah, if you guys played it or anything and you enjoyed it or didn't like it, let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing all that stuff. But yeah, otherwise I would just say keep an eye out on this game. It seems like it'd be pretty good. But if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content and news. There'll be a new video every Wednesday and now Sunday, because Sunday is the new Saturday. I've just been kind of thinking, and posting on Sunday works a lot better than Saturday, especially because I work a lot of Saturdays. So just having, because I always have Sunday off, it just makes sense for me to do Wednesday and Sunday. And it's not changing a lot. So stay tuned every Wednesday and Sunday when videos come out. Like always, guys, see you next time.